Have you ever finished a movie and just sat there in silence, staring at the screen, completely wrecked? The kind of film that doesn't just tell a story, but reaches into your chest and rearranges something inside you. If that's the feeling you're chasing, you're in exactly the right place. Today we're counting down 12 gay films so emotionally intense that you might genuinely need to step outside and breathe afterward. Let's get into it. Number 12. Beautiful Thing.
Oi! Hey, what's his name?
You, sir. You, Janus.
You, Janus, get back here now!
We're opening with a film that looks gentle on the surface, but hits harder than you'd expect. Set on a working-class housing estate in southeast London, Beautiful Thing follows Jamie, a quiet teenager who spends more time avoiding gym class than facing the world around him. Living next door is Stay, an athletic boy dealing with a violent home life. When Stee needs somewhere safe to escape, he ends up staying with Jamie and his mother, and the two boys are pushed into a closeness neither of them expected. What unfolds between them is tender and cautious, blooming quietly against a backdrop of hardship. The estate is loud and cramped, the adults are exhausted, and yet somehow these two find a pocket of softness in all of it. The intensity here isn't loud. It's the ache of first love happening in a place that isn't built to protect it. By the end, you'll feel the weight of everything these boys are up against, and everything they dare to hope for anyway. A quiet gut punch to start us off. Number 11. Maurice.
Drag in a woman, I won't have it. Keith, leave it. Maurice, don't make it worse.
Next up, a slow burn of longing and repression that stays with you long after the credits. Based on the E.M. Forster novel, Maurice is set in Edwardian England, a world of strict social codes where certain feelings could destroy a man's entire life. Maurice is a young man from a respectable background who falls for his university classmate Clive. Their bond is deep, but Clive ultimately chooses convention over his heart, leaving Maurice alone with feelings he was taught to bury. What makes this one so intense is the sheer pressure of a society determined to keep two people apart. Every glance, every unspoken word carries enormous risk. You watch Maurice wrestle with shame, denial, and finally a desperate hope for something real. It's a period drama that simmers rather than explodes, but that simmer builds into something deeply moving. The repression is suffocating, and that's exactly the point. Stay with me, because it only gets heavier from here. Number 10. Total Eclipse.
We've taken as much as we can from each other. We simply split up and move on.
I followed him. I had to.
Do you love me?
If you want intensity that borders on destructive, this is your film. Total Eclipse dramatizes the real-life relationship between the poets Arthur Rimbaud and Paul Verlaine in 19th century France. Rimbaud arrives as a wild, provocative young genius, and Verlaine, older and already married, is immediately pulled into his orbit. What follows is a volatile, obsessive affair fueled by absinthe, jealousy, and self-destruction. This isn't a comfortable love story. It's raw and chaotic, full of cruelty and passion in equal measure. The two men wound each other again and again, unable to stay together and unable to fully let go. The intensity here is the emotional violence of two people who bring out both the brilliance and the worst in each other. It's messy, it's uncomfortable, and it lingers. Not an easy watch, but an unforgettable one. Number 9. Handsome Devil.
Reveal to me who you are, if you dare.
Everyone.
This is Connor.
Let's shift gears with an Irish drama that balances warmth with real emotional stakes. Handsome Devil takes place at a rugby-obsessed boarding school, where fitting in means everything. Ned is an outsider, mocked, and isolated, until he's paired as a roommate with Connor, the new star athlete. The two couldn't seem more different, but an unlikely friendship forms, encouraged by an English teacher who pushes them both to be honest about who they are. The heart of this film is the tension between authenticity and belonging. In an environment where being different is dangerous, every character is forced to decide what they're willing to risk to stop pretending. It's emotionally charged, sometimes heartbreaking, but ultimately, it's about the courage it takes to stand up and be seen. The stakes feel personal, and the payoff hits hard. Quick pause here, because if you're loving this list so far, I want to invite you to become part of this community. Hit that join button below and become a member for just $1 a month. That single dollar helps keep these countdowns coming, and it gets you closer to the channel and the films we all love. And while you're down there, tap subscribe so you never miss a single video. It genuinely makes a huge difference. All right, back to the countdown, and things are about to get even more intense. Number 8. BPM beats per minute.
On va pas dire des trucs comme ça.
Je risque pas de choper votre connerie de sida, hein, en attendant.
This French film is one of the most emotionally exhausting entries on the entire list, and it earns every bit of that. BPM follows the members of ACT UP Paris, an activist group fighting for attention and action during the height of the AIDS crisis in the early 1990s. Amid the protests and heated debates, a relationship develops between Nathan, a newer member, and Sean, a passionate activist living with the disease. What makes this film so powerful is how it refuses to look away. It captures the anger, the grief, the desperation, and the fierce love that held this community together as they lost people they cared about. The personal story of Nathan and Sean is set against a backdrop of collective fighting and mourning. By the final act, you'll feel emotionally wrung out. It's a film about love, mortality, and refusing to be silent. Have tissues ready. You'll need them. Number 7. Mysterious Skin.
I know all Neil's secrets. Where normal people have a heart, Neil McCormick has a bottomless black hole.
So how long's it been since you two last saw each other?
10 years.
A warning before this one. Mysterious Skin is genuinely harrowing and deals with heavy, difficult subject matter. The film follows two young men whose lives were shaped by the same traumatic childhood experience, though they process it in completely different ways. One grows up detached and reckless, while the other convinces himself of a very different explanation for the gaps in his memory. Their paths eventually converge in a way that is emotionally shattering. This is not a film you put on casually. It's beautifully made and deeply empathetic, but it explores trauma with an unflinching honesty that stays with you for a long time. The intensity here is real and raw. When it's over, you'll absolutely need a break to sit with everything you've just watched. Handle this one with care. Number 6. Call Me By Your Name.
You do around here.
Read books, transcribe music, swim at the river, go out at night.
Sounds fun. All right, later.
Now for a film that became a modern classic, and for very good reason. Set during a golden summer in northern Italy, Call Me By Your Name follows 17-year-old Elio, whose family hosts a graduate student named Oliver each year. Over the course of the season, a slow, electric attraction builds between them, unfolding through stolen moments, long conversations, and the lazy heat of the Italian countryside. The beauty of this film is in its patience. It lets the relationship breathe, making every look and touch feel monumental. But summer's end, and the ache of that ending is what makes this film so devastating. That final shot, held on Elio's face by the fireplace, is one of the most emotionally powerful endings in modern cinema. It says everything without a single word. You'll be feeling it long after the screen goes dark. Beautiful, tender, and quietly crushing. Number 5. Weekend.
On my league or whatever. And yeah, we came back here, didn't we? And then you kissed me. You said you took my shirt off.
Sometimes the most intense films are also the smallest and quietest. Weekend is a British film that takes place over just a couple of days. Russell meets Glenn at a club, and what begins as a casual encounter turns into something far deeper as the two men talk, connect, and open up to each other. The catch is that Glenn is leaving the country very soon, giving their connection a built-in expiration date. There are no big dramatic set pieces here. It's just two people, honest conversation, and a growing sense that they've found something rare at exactly the wrong time. The realism is what makes it hit so hard. By the end, that ticking clock becomes almost unbearable. It's an intimate, deeply human film about connection, and about how much you can come to care for someone in a very short time. Quiet, but it wrecks you. Number 4. A Single Man. Grief has rarely looked as beautiful or felt as heavy as it does here. A Single Man follows George, a college professor in 1960s Los Angeles, over the course of a single day. He is quietly devastated by the recent death of his longtime partner, moving through his routines while carrying an almost unbearable weight of loss. As the day unfolds, small moments of unexpected connection begin to pierce through his sorrow. The film is visually stunning, every frame carefully composed. But underneath that beauty is a profound sadness. It's a meditation on love, loss, and the small reasons we keep going even when everything feels hollow. The intensity here is internal and aching. You feel George's grief in your own chest. It's a film that asks how you survive the loss of the person who meant everything. Gorgeous and quietly heartbreaking. Number 3. Moonlight.
What you looking at me like that for? What, man? Come on, you just drove down here? Yeah.
We're into the top 3 now, and this one is unforgettable. Moonlight tells the story of Kieran in 3 chapters, following him from childhood to adolescence to adulthood. Growing up in a rough Miami neighborhood, dealing with a struggling mother and constant bullying, Kieran searches for identity, tenderness, and a sense of where he belongs. A pivotal relationship with a childhood friend echoes across his entire life. What makes Moonlight so powerful is its intimacy and restraint. It's told in hushed, poetic strokes, capturing enormous emotion in quiet moments. Kieran's journey toward understanding himself is heartbreaking and hopeful all at once. This is a film about vulnerability, masculinity, and the longing to be truly seen. Every chapter builds on the last until the final scenes land with overwhelming force. Poetic, tender, and absolutely essential viewing. Number 2. God's Own Country.
We're not running a charity for Wales for Strays, like.
It's perfect for me.
Just when you think a love story can't feel this raw, along comes this one. God's Own Country is set on a remote farm in Yorkshire, England. Johnny is a young farmer who has closed himself off from the world, numbing his loneliness through drinking and empty encounters. When a migrant worker named Gerhay arrives to help during lambing season, the tension between them slowly transforms into something tender and real. The landscape is harsh and cold, mirroring Johnny's guarded heart. But as the 2 men work side by side, that ice begins to melt, and Johnny is forced to confront the possibility of genuine intimacy for the first time. The intensity here is in the emotional thaw, the raw vulnerability of a man learning how to let someone in. It's earthy, unflinching, and deeply moving. By the end, you'll be rooting for these 2 with everything you've got. Raw, honest, and beautiful. Number 1. Brokeback Mountain.
Since we're gonna be working together, I reckon it's time we start drinking together.
And at number 1, the film that broke a generation's heart. Brokeback Mountain follows Ennis and Jack, 2 young ranch hands who spend a summer herding sheep in the mountains of Wyoming in the 1960s. What begins there grows into a love that spans decades, one they're forced to hide as they marry, raise families, and steal rare moments together over the years. The tragedy of this film is the weight of everything unspoken and everything denied. These 2 men love each other deeply, but the world they live in gives them no space to be together. The result is a lifetime of longing, secrecy, and quiet devastation. The ending is one of the most heartbreaking in cinema history, a portrait of love and loss that stays with you forever. If you only watch one film from this list, make it this one, and make sure you have time to recover afterward. The most intense of them all, and rightfully our number 1. And there you have it, 12 gay films so intense you'll need a break after watching. From quiet aches to full emotional devastation, every one of these will leave a mark. Which of these wrecked you the most? And which films did I miss? Drop them in the comments, because I'm always looking for the next one to recover from. If you made it this far, do me a favor. Tap that join button and become a member for just $1 a month to support the channel, and hit subscribe so you're here for the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.